Hey guys, Kitten here. I know I normally just read creepypastas and no sleeps for you, and sometimes sprinkle in a few Let's Plays. But today, I want to share a personal paranormal experience that I had when I was a very little girl. I understand that Halloween has already passed, but I'm always in a very spooky spirit. So, let's begin with the story. It was a little over 8 years ago. I just moved into the new house that I currently reside in. I picked up my room, unpacked everything, and I was ready to begin yet another new life from yet another move. 2 weeks after moving in, a woman and her very young daughter decided to come and welcome us to the new place. You know, the whole bringing pastries and a warm smile, typical good neighbor act. But while she was here, she mentioned something very interesting to my mom. The property our trailer was built over used to belong to this woman. She moved out after her husband died on the property, and shortly after, the house was torn down and rebuilt. And that's when we moved in. She then went on about how she missed the place and how she used to love the neighborhood and wished us a happy time here. A week after her visit, my cousins came over to hang with me while all of our parents decided to have a night out at a fancy bar over in downtown. My brother wasn't with us, of course. He decided to hang out with a friend that night. So, it was just me and 2 of my other cousins. Let's call them Mandy and Jane for privacy's sake. We were out in the living room playing some loud music and singing like banshees while we danced around and had a good time. Keep in mind, my cousin Jane was about 23 or 24 years old, so of course she was the babysitter. My mom wasn't dumb enough to leave a 10-year-old in a mostly empty house by herself. Anyway, after we decided to turn down the music to pick out a movie to watch, we heard something coming from my mom's room. I went to go check, with the other 2 trailing behind me, and we saw that my mom's TV was on. We figured that my mom accidentally left it on before she left, and that it was on low volume, which is why we couldn't hear it over the music. So we turned it off, thinking nothing more of it. However, not even 5 minutes later, while we were chatting, it turned on again, but this time the volume was on full blast. Jane went in first this time, going to turn it off, and still trying to find a logical reason behind it, we figured that something was hitting the remote, or that the TV was on a timer. Now that I think about that, is it possible for a TV to be on a timer? I have no idea. Anyway, after we turn it off, 2 minutes later, it turns on again. It kept doing this all night, until finally, Jane decided to go and pull the plug on the TV. However, when we finalized on this decision, Jane went in again first this time, but she immediately stopped at the bedroom door. Mandy and I were trying to look over her shoulder, wondering what the hell is stopping her. When we were finally able to get a look into the room, there was a very tall and shadowy figure standing in the middle of my mom's room. The only visible thing on this, whatever the hell it was the color of its eyes. They were hazel. He, or it, I don't know what to call it, immediately bolted for my mom's closet. And as the door shut behind it, my cousins and I immediately dove onto the closet door and ripped it open. Whatever the hell it was that was standing in the middle of my mom's room was now gone. And there was no way an adult of any size could hide in there because it was filled from corner to corner with boxes, clothes, and whatever files that my mom decided to keep. Needless to say, we were pretty freaked the fuck out. We had a cop that was making his nightly rounds come in and check the place. No one else was there, and there was no evidence of a break-in. We were on edge for the rest of the night. It wasn't until 12 a.m. or so until our parents finally decided to come home. My mom was unable to sleep that night because the room was too cold. I was unable to sleep because I was pretty fucking scared. Anyway, we haven't encountered Hazel Eyes since then, but since that night, my mom's room has always been unnaturally cold, even on the hottest of days. You can only imagine how it is during the winter.